Hey everybody, and welcome to the newest episode of Smashified Trophies. This is Salsa from Mother 3. I am Chris. With me today I have Andrew.
Hey.
Retro.
Yo.
And a special guest. You may know him from Super Smash tournaments, the one and only ZeRo, ladies and gentlemen.
How's it going, homies?
Hey man, what's up? So, I hear you're a pretty big Mother fan. Is that a true fact?
Dude, honestly, I managed to beat the entire series, and I probably beat some of the games a few times, and like a few more times than needed, right? Like not just once. And I don't know, just everything about the series is just so special. It definitely has a special place in my heart. I will go that far, actually.
Oh yeah, no, I think it has a special place in a lot of people's hearts. Do you know Salsa the Monkey from Mother 3 by any chance? He's a pretty great guy, good dancer, I hear. Salsa.
Of course, he doesn't remember the dance. The dance was so awkward and just random. It came out of nowhere on the Mother series. That as in the Mother series, right? You get a lot of like crazy stuff going on, so you kind of, I guess, you get used to seeing some really different stuff, I guess you could say. But when you see this little monkey doing the dance, you're just like, okay, well, I've seen it all by this point.
Yeah,
because as a Mother fan, you probably got to that point. You probably beat all the other games and then you got to that point. So when you see that, you're like, well, man, I already went through all this crazy stuff, no spoilers, but but then I see this monkey dance and you're just like, well then, I've seen it all.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's a great dance. And I love that a lot of the characters in the game get to do the dance. It's an amazing dance. It's a great part of the game. It always made me sort of really just laugh out loud every time, Yes, Salsa the Monkey. This remix is awesome. Retro did this remix. He's in the call too. This is a fantastic remix of this song. Is this the song that plays when you're delivering the happy boxes, Retro, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah.
I actually threw in a whistle in the background because, during the game, Facade kind of commands you with a whistle. So I thought, hey, why not add that? But, yeah, I kind of wanted to make it sound dramatic in a way, because, he's kind of being forced to do this for his girlfriend. And, like, when you look at it in the long run, it's like, it's kind of really sad to think about. He's being forced against his will with a shock collar to being forced to do this stuff. So I wanted to make it sound dramatic, but, still kind of have that flair that the original had. So,
Yeah, no, it is kind of a sad story, and it even gets into a creepier aspect because these happy boxes that he's delivering to everybody are sort of shaped like TVs or computers, and it's a little just mentioned towards society of like how that sort of stuff controls people. It's your happy box.
Yeah,
it's a little dark.
It really is.
But at the same time, you counter that with this awesome monkey who's on a mission to get his girlfriend back, no matter the cause. And how great is it? Kind of spoilers, I guess. Later, when he gets the shock collar off and he stomps on it and he does his monkey roar and he's like his own man again,
Yeah,
gets
really
his girl
great.
back.
This poor guy.
So ZeRo.
Yeah.
Mother 3. Is it your favorite one? What's your favorite? I gotta ask everybody. What's your favorite?
All right, so I have three different type of favorites for this series. Actually, I'm gonna give you the different answers. So
okay,
I have three. I have three like I guess like spots for this in terms of gameplay, in terms of story, and in terms of I guess overall experience we'll play in the game. So for gameplay, right? Actually, my favorite is Mother 3, and I say this because the gameplay. You have the combo system and everything, so it adds a different layer of depth to the gameplay. You also have a wide variety of different skills, and in general, for most of the later round fights, you have to kind of strategize what you're doing. A lot of defensive mechanisms in the game were stronger, so when it came down to fighting enemies, you have to really have a plan, and it wasn't so much about grinding, but it was more so about, do you have a good strategy for fighting this enemy? Because some of the enemies were pretty strong in that game, and a lot of the time, they were a little stronger than you. So you have to have a good strategy. And then in terms of having an overall good time, I will say that I had an overall better time in Earthbound. Because Earthbound was really funny. It had all these quirky jokes and just different things, that made it unique and stand out. So
it's a little hard to have a good time in Mother 3 because it's a really kind of depressing story when you get down to it.
It really is.
Yeah, I will say Mother 3 is my pick for best story. I will say the story in Earthbound is not necessarily worse or anything, but it's just I guess it's more, it's epic, right? It's epic.
Oh yeah.
And it's interesting, but the Mother 3 one, without I guess spoiling too much into it, it's just it hits you hard, and it kind of leaves you, I guess, thinking about it after you finish the game. I will say the even the ending for both games is very strong, but even Mother 3 in the ending, it manages to be like, I guess, even more impactful in some ways, because well, I mean, if you beat the game, you'll see what I mean. But the final boss for Earthbound is very, very memorable. So they're just awesome in their own ways. And Mother ZeRo, right? Well, that game takes the cake for difficulty. That game is really really hard.
Not for the same reasons though. It's not hard. It's not hard in the same reasons that Mother 2 or 3 would be hard. It's hard because it's a little dated, right? Doesn't stand up today in terms of gameplay. It's harder to use the controls and sort of exist in that same world, right?
Actually, one of the reasons that game is also difficult, not just because of that, but also because the balancing in that game is pretty crazy, I will say. I can't remember the exact source for what I'm gonna say, but I did hear that the balancing in that game at some point, I guess they just didn't. I guess they just didn't really balance at some point. So from the very beginning, you're kind of doing fine, and then at some point, the enemies just like spike in terms of difficulty, and you're just like, okay, so this random enemy that just spawned like at this very common area that I'm just walking through, just kill everybody in my party with no issue, and you're just like, okay, well then. So it gets really difficult, and for that game, I had to do a lot of grinding, like literally sit down at a place killing enemies for like 2-3 hours to keep up with the next part of the game. The game isn't too long, but the fact of the matter is that you have to grind a lot, and if you don't, you'll get messed up.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think I have to agree with you though about each of those aspects that you were saying. Best story, best gameplay. Mother 3 has a very, very good story, and it's super. It feels more advanced in a way than Earthbound or Mother 1 did. It seems like as these games sort of developed further, they became more about the story, more about the ability to have a good gameplay, and it's just better games. I'm not saying that one is better than the other, but it's a personal favorite choice, I love Salsa the Monkey, man. He's so great.
Yeah. He's
just such an Earthbound character, if you think about it.
I think he's like a cult classic too, Everybody seems to love Salsa. He stands out,
Like, I mean, he's just different, It's like all the characters in Earthbound have like something unique, but this one takes, it's like one of the most unique ones because you just don't expect it. Every game had like their different like character that you can kind of remember one way or another. For example, Mother ZeRo, right? That's where the Flymans came from, right? Mm-hmm. And that's one of my favorite characters too. I actually made it. Funny story. So I made this Smash video with Mutikin, who's like another Smash player in the community, and for the 3DS version of Smash 4, you play on a stage that's very reminiscent of Mother's ZeRo part. And the interesting part is that you actually can get a Flyman on your side. And the thing about Flyman is that when you get him as an ally, he's actually pretty strong in the game. But in the 3DS version of Smash 4, he's ridiculously strong and can just kill you like in a hit or two. Yeah. So it's just funny because people that didn't play Earthbound, they see this flying something, just kill you in 2 hits, and you're just like, what happened? Like, and he kicks you and he chases you under the stage too. It's actually really crazy.
Yeah, no, I've heard a lot of things about that, a lot of strong opinions about how that character is a little too overpowered. It's funny, actually, a little bit of trivia for you. That character in the 3DS version is a 2D character. It's a sprite-based character. But in the original version of Smash 3DS, they built a 3D model for him, and it wasn't sprite-based. I don't know why they got rid of it. Maybe it was too many characters on the stage.
It was limitations or something.
Yeah, that was probably it.
So they use a sprite, which is, it's kind of clever in a way. Because it still looked really nice despite being 2D. I thought that was really clever.
Or maybe it was going to be a character.
That would be pretty sweet.
Wouldn't that make the least amount of sense? Out of all the Earthbound characters, you pick Fly, man.
Yeah.
I mean, we got Wii Fit Trainer, so
Yeah, that's
we
true.
can get anything. Did you expect Wii Fit Trainer in your Smash 4? Did you expect Wii Fit Trainer?
No, definitely not.
Yeah. No. Okay. I mean, I was more surprised by Duck Hunt Dog than I was by the Wii Fit Trainer, to be quite honest. But might just be me.
For some reason, I was like, if they got Game & Watch, they'll definitely get some old popular character. And the fact that, the Duck Hunt game was actually released in conjunction with one of the Mario games, and it was like this dual combination of a game that you could buy anywhere for when NES was around, and then it was like one of the most popular things back in the day. I was like, of course, this character is very popular for the people. It's a really popular character back in the day, so I wouldn't be surprised if they put him in the game. And then remember the big leak that happened that kind of like told everybody the whole roster for 3 years, and then I saw Duck Hunt. I was like, I knew it. You knew it.
You knew it all along. So here's the awesome trophy. Here's Salsa doing his little awesome dance. What a great part of the game, and a great remix, by the way, Retro. Fantastic
Thank
job,
you.
man. Did it pretty quick too.
Yeah.
Thankfully, we got you to do it. So there's Salsa. Thanks for joining us, ZeRo. It was great talking to you on this one.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get you to come back on another episode. We'll see. Andrew made this awesome model. The remix was by Retro. Everybody watching, feel free to check out our Patreon for more content. You can download this trophy. We're selling prints now. Gumroad, we're about to have a tutorial up there, how to do this yourself. So stick around and watch that when it's out. Thanks again, everybody.
So a lot of people have been wondering, I mean, have they actually been wondering this time around?